road which goes from Pataliputra is modern day Patna, you know. So from here, it used to go to this Taxila. Taxila is in Pakistan now. So this road was first constructed during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, and you will be amused to know that the present day NH2, National Highway number 2, which goes from New Delhi to Kolkata, the alignment is more or less same. So that means kings changed, emperors changed, empires changed, but the alignment of the roads were same, right? So once you form a road, there will never be degradation. So in village areas, if you see, first the roads will be like from one point to another. So here to here, there will not be any road earlier. Then some people started traveling, commuting through this path. Then this will be fast and hardened road. Then maybe with the help of panchayats and all, they will put some gravels. Then this will be converted to gravel roads. And when demands started, demand of this road start growing, then they will apply for paving of these roads. And you know PMGSY, Pradhan Mantri Kanchal Yojana. So if it gets included in this DRRP plan, then maybe in future those roads will be a all-weather road. All-weather road means it will surviving all the different types of weather. That means it will be a paved one, right? So it starts with simple hardened road in most of the cases. So this Kautilya, you know, Kautilya is one of the strategists during the Mauryan era, who is also known as Chanakya. So Chanakya or Kautilya, he wrote this Arthashastra. So you will be surprised to know that in this Arthashastra, he wrote different slokas where he mentioned what should be the width of roads for different categories. So like that is Danda was the unit of measurement of length at that time. So Saturdanda means 4 danda. So what it should be, this much should be width of what type of roads. Okay. Then Didanda means 2 times of danda. Then this is simply the translation of these things. So 54 feet wide should be royal highways, roads leading to divisional. So everything was classified, just like you see in modern day national highway, expressway. The national highway should be at least 7 meter in width. Expressways should be again at least 7 meter, or if it is like 4 lane, then 40 meter in width. So those things were there, but the form of categorization used to be different. But these things are not like that. Britishers who came and they taught us like these things. These things used to be there from the early days as well. So now coming to this modern era a little bit. Sher Shah Suri, as you know. So Sher Shah Suri, he again rebuilt that Grand Trunk Road which I was talking about, connecting New Delhi from Taxila to your Pataliputra. So he reconstructed because when time passes there will be some deterioration. So he named it Sarak-e-Azam, and this is again the same alignment as NH2. And after the decline of this Mughal era and when the Britishers came, there was a negligence to this road system, because Britishers, they used to come, take things, and they used to transport to England at the time. So for that, they don't need a better road system. Also at the time, these motorized vehicles were not in picture. They needed a faster system which can transport materials from one place to another, and that system was already trains, right? So they focused more on building railway tracks instead of building roads, right? And because of that, these railway tracks at the time were used to carry goods from one place to another, even though some passenger trains were there, but it's like those people at those times, they couldn't afford the tickets, and because of that, the Indians suffered a lot. But when this Lord Dalhousie came, he organized and he started the system which is now known as PWD. So PWD replaced this military board in 1885. If you write many competitive exams, this question is like frequently asked: uh, which uh, viceroy started this PWD? Which Lord Dalhousie? And remember that. Okay, so this organization should be there, because when an organization comes into picture, there will be different specifications which can be framed, which can be like standardized, and all the engineers which are related to that organization, they can follow the same specification standards, right? So that's how PWD came into picture in 1885. Okay, the same thing, just because after the introduction of railways to the mid of 19th century, these roads had a very bad time because the motorized vehicles were not there. But when these motorized vehicles like started, the numbers of motorized vehicles started growing, especially after First World War. People, especially the British government, they felt the need of roads. The trains cannot be like, every place cannot be connected through train only. We need proper road system, and because of that, people started giving more attention in building different roads. And in November 1927, you must have studied this thing, Zaikar committee, in your highway engineering course. So government of India appointed this committee from both the houses, members from the upper house and lower house, to examine the desirability of developing the road system. Okay, and by means how this development in road industry can be worked. All right. So this Zaikar committee, they suggested this IRC. You know, most of the codes or codal provisions related to roads are taken care of by IRC. IRC 58 for concrete roads, IRC 37 for flexible roads. So this IRC came into picture in 1934. So like these are the different, categories in. So it's like 2021, I think. Sorry, is that? So different categories of road, as we know nowadays: national highways, state highways, district roads, rural roads, urban roads, and some project roads under BRO, because in the border regions, not every road is accessible. So there, PWD and NHAI cannot go and build the roads. So border road organization takes care of those things. And inside the plant, say inside SAIL or other different plants, they also have their own road agencies to construct roads under different projects. But mainly these national highways are under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, and they are taken care of by your NHAI. And also, if you see, PWD has two divisions. One is roads, one is, can anybody tell me what is the second division in PWD? Public Works Departments. One is road. What is the second one? In Assam only. Anyone? Your family members, nobody is there? Nobody from your family members work in PWD? Okay, so the second division is called building and NH. So that division, yeah. So one division that takes care of your roads only, and those roads generally are state highways and district roads, and some parts of rural roads as well. So that is called PWD road division, and building and NH division will take care of only national highway and all the types of buildings under state government. Okay, and these rural roads, again, you know, it can be either other district roads, it can be village roads, so they are taken care of by panchayats or PMGSY. These urban roads mainly by municipal corporations. All the towns have municipal corporations, cities also. So these municipalities take care of these urban roads. So there are different lengths are there, right? Which is the most, which is the highest one, rural roads. So focus should be more on rural roads, and that's what the government is presently doing in terms of PMGSY. They are trying to pave maximum numbers of roads. So we will discuss what is PMGSY, how these schemes are like monetized, how these schemes are given to different PWDs. We can discuss these things later on. Now again, coming back to our Indian road network, as I said in my first slide, Indian road network is very important because it carries 60% of all the goods. When you order something in Flipkart, Amazon, that goods have to be transported from the godown to the distributor, right? Maybe it may come to your place through trains or railway system, but it also travels in roads, right? So 60% of these goods move in road only from different parts of the country. When different parts of the states, when we export something from the other states or say other districts, all those big lorries with potatoes, tomatoes, everything is carried in trucks only, right? So these goods and 85% of the passenger traffic. Although Indian railway network is very huge, but 85% of the commuters in India still prefer to use your road network. Okay, so in the present year, NHAI has allocated like almost 1,34,000 crores of rupees, which is like almost double than the last year to build this road infrastructure only. Okay, so this much of budget, can you imagine? 1.34 lakhs crores of rupees. It's very huge. So, but with this kind of great budget also comes great responsibility. Do you think our engineers are doing their works properly? If we travel from say in the upper Assam only, if we travel from Sibsagar to Dibrugarh, or from any other, in between any two places, do you feel that the roads look like that this much of budget has been allocated? No, right? So if you see that although this roads infrastructure is going up every day, but the quality of the roads is not going up by that extent. Of course it's going up, but it's not proportional to the budget allocated. All right, nearly still 400 people die on daily basis on these Indian roads. And if you open a newspaper, and you will be seeing that there are news of accidents which are like distributed in different corners of the newspaper, right? So we generally tend to ignore those newses. But if we just imagine, you open the newspaper and daily you see that one plane has crashed. 408 means almost two times of the capacity of a normal aircraft. So every day, say, two plane has crashed in India overall. So how will it feel like? But the intensity of this road accident is same. So 400 people are daily dying on Indian roads. So it says that it now leads the more like there can be accidental deaths due to many reasons, by drowning, due to fire or anything, but this road accidents leads these accidental deaths by a huge margin. So these are some statistics, like on every 100 kilometer in 2019, how many people, how many road accident cases, and out of those cases, how many deaths were reported. So if you see in national highways, 113 deaths were reported in every 100 kilometer. So that means in every kilometer there is at least one death, right? So sorry, 47 cases were 113. So at every 2 kilometer there is one death. But are we taking any steps to reduce this? You must have seen these newspapers telling that we should wear helmets, we should wear helmets. But now I just want to communicate with you. So can anyone tell me what can be the causes of road accidents? What do you feel? See, I don't want this to be just one-way conversation. I don't bite. You can simply unmute and tell. What do you think? What are the causes of road accidents? Different causes. Anyone?
Sir, potholes and bad maintenance of roads.
Okay. So, but the other person may also say that the people was drunk. Although the pothole was there, but the people was driving in a drunk state. So, any other state, any other reasons? Of course, that is the most genuine one. Any other reasons you can think?
Sir, bad design of roads, such as during curbs, isn't proper super elevations are not given. Then
Okay.
this might be one point.
So you are blaming the engineers only, right? So as an engineer, you should try to save yourselves, isn't it? So try to blame to some other causes. What can be other causes? Anyone else?
Carelessness on part of the drivers.
Yes, carelessness. But suppose the road is also very smooth, everything was perfectly designed, a newly built road, the driver was not drunk, then also can accident happen?
So fault of the vehicle or loss of traction.
Yes, very good, fault of the vehicle. And also some natural causes, like suppose heavy rainfall was going on, some snowfall, landslide, those are natural causes. But what I want to tell you here is that this careless or irresponsible driving, also unfavorable weather conditions, and one of you has put a very good point, maybe I will add it later, that the vehicle itself was faulty. So these things are not in our control. By us, I mean the engineers. We cannot control these things. What we can do, we can control this pavement condition. We can at least shift the blame from us to the other factors, right? If we give a perfectly good road, then even if accident happens, then the engineers should not be held responsible. At least from our side, we can do that. You agree, right? So this is the road condition in Assam. You will see every day, you open the newspaper, you will see at least one news. Okay, at least one news about bad roads. Okay, this is the road I was talking about, near to Maran. So I don't know whether you saw this video or not. So this is just a 2-minute video, so you enjoy. Can you hear the audio? I think no, right?
No, sir.
It's okay. So you see how people troll us, the engineers, for this kind of pathetic road condition, right? So as an engineer, we should feel responsible for each and every pothole that is present on roads. Okay, if the roads are designed perfectly, if the roads are, this kind of memes are viral nowadays, that without a single degree, these Romans used to build roads which served eternity. Then the engineers arrived. So we share these memes, but the troll is on our part, isn't it? We should feel ashamed instead of laughing. And what do you think is the reason of these failures? Now again, I want to open this platform to all the audiences. Let's unmute and you can tell, why do you think, why it happens? But earlier the roads used to survive compared
Sir,
to,
we are optimizing the design day by day, and so we are trying to optimize the cost of the design as well. The roads are designed for a limited period of time. Earlier, that was not much of a priority.
okay, so you are trying to say that we are cutting the cost and compromising with the safety of the people. Is it what you're trying to say?
That's part of it, but also the roads are designed such that they require a regular maintenance after, I
Hmm.
think, 5 to 7 years after that, the pothole should be maintained. But
Okay.
the
So can you tell me, like, for how many years generally a road is designed? You must have designed roads during your fifth semester highway engineering course. What is the design period? What is that N? How much N you took? Is it 5 years, 7 years? How much?
so I think 30 years, such,
Then
if I'm not wrong.
then are the roads surviving 30 years? Are the roads surviving
No, sir.
20 years? Then what is the fault? Anybody else? This is an interactive class. তোমালোকে যদি ইংলিছত কমফৰ্টেবল নহয় অসমীয়াতো ক'ব পাৰা, নাথিং হাৰ্ম ইন ইট। চ' ক'বা কোনোবাই কিয়, মানে আগতে কিয় ৰাস্তা ইমান দিন ছাৰ্ভাইভ কৰিছিলে, আজিকালি মানে কি প্ৰব্লেম, একচুৱেল কজটো কি, মানে ৰাস্তা এটা বনোৱাৰ পিছতে বেয়া হৈ যায়। এনিথিং দেট কামছ টু ইয়ৰ মাইণ্ড।
Hello.
কোৱা।
Because I think nowadays traffic are getting increased.
Yes, very good point. Very good point. But don't you think, as an engineer, you already took these things into account? তোমালোকেতো MSA ওলোৱা, কিমান এক্সেলছ যাব, কিমান ট্ৰেফিক হ'ব, সেইবিলাকতো অলৰেডি ওলোৱা। চ' তাৰপিছতো কি প্ৰব্লেম? চ' যদি ডিজাইন কৰা তাৰপিছত কি প্ৰব্লেম হ'ব পাৰে?
So due to environmental degradation, sir, if I'm not wrong,
Yes, environmental degradation is there.
it means
But
the quality of the materials which were used previously, where the pollution was almost negligible, sir. But nowadays you see many environmental factors are also affecting.
yes, right. Because I worked in Lee Associates like for 1 year. So there, what we did, we used to dig holes at every 1 kilometer of the state highways and major district roads of Assam. And I will, not me, everybody in the office was surprised to know that the thicknesses that were provided in those layers are almost 20% of the design thickness. That means there is nothing wrong in the design, but when executing these roads, when executing the construction works, the thickness was very, very less. And because of that, that is one factor. Second factor is there is overloading. If you have, I don't know whether you have studied the term or not, there is a term called vehicle damage factor, VDF, which accounts for like what is the total load of the vehicle divided by the standard load of one vehicle. So that value should be around 2 to 4 generally. But in many of the roads, we also found that the value was as high as 11. So the thicknesses that should be provided, that is not provided, and also we are overloading. So the most important thing, especially in Assam, is lack of drainage. So proper drains are not provided. If you see, the enemy of flexible pavement is water. We will learn these things in detail, but you remember this thing, the enemy of roads is water. So these aggregates, they have more tendency to like come in contact with water than the bitumen. And because of that hydrophilic nature of aggregates, when these roads are submerged in water, and during floods you will see that the roads are submerged for more than 24 hours, more than 7 days sometimes, and we are not worried about. But because of that, stripping and everything comes into picture. And the term highway, have you ever wondered like why it's called highway? Because it should be higher. The level of the road should be higher than the normal roads. But why it should be higher? It should be higher than at least the HFL, high flood level. It should be higher than the HFL, so that even if flood comes, it should not reach the top of the road surface. But is it the thing here in Assam? No. When flood comes, the roads will be always submerged underwater. And because of that, everything starts. This deterioration starts. And we'll discuss these things in detail when we design our roads. Anyway, proceeding. And one more thing, you can see two different failures here. One is the failure of a building, one is failure of a road. Okay, so which one do you think will like make a breaking news in the news channel very next day? What will be
The building one, obviously.
Building ones, obviously. Why? Because the casualties will be more, number of deaths will be more. But the failure is in both the cases structural failure for the roads as well as the buildings. But is it, do we have to like think ourselves, are we neglecting this kind of failures when it happens to roads? This kind of attitude of us, like when you see potholes on roads, we simply ignore it. Yeah, rasta thakile pothole to hoboi. But why? Why, when a road is designed for 15 years, but immediately after 1 year, potholes start appearing? So when you see a crack on the building, you panic. Oh, there is a crack in the building. Now what is going to happen? But do you panic when you see any crack on the roads? No. So there is some kind of negligence in the minds of the people as well. That is my point of view. So we need to learn how to pave these roads. So there is a difference between pavement and road. Road can be anything. It can be hardened road, it can be gravel roads. But when it's covered with some durable hard surface, then it's the pavement. And from the subgrade to the topmost layer, that part is only called the pavement. So our main concern as an engineer is to how to design this pavement, different layers of the pavement. Okay, so why pavement is required? I think you already know what will happen if this is not paved. When rain comes, it will not be motorable anymore, right? So that's why we go for asphalt or bituminous road and also concrete roads. The differences we'll learn in details in our, you already know these things, but how to design, we'll see. So these things, again, it will be technical in nature, so I'll simply skip. But as an engineer, as a designer, we should be designing these thicknesses. Okay, and not only that, what should be the materials, and what should be the proportions of different materials, what should be the requirements of different materials, everything we need to design as an engineer, and we will do in this course itself. So that is it. If we construct a road, can we simply leave it like that? No. We already discussed that we need to manage. We need to manage the roads. And that's why this pavement management is a very hot topic nowadays. Because engineering is one part, management is one part. But do you think these normal managers who did MBA are like qualified enough to manage the pavements? No. Although it's called pavement management, you only engineers are needed. So that's why it's called pavement management engineers. When you join any company with this kind of skills, where you know if some distress is there, if there is a pothole, why this pothole has appeared, how to tackle that pothole, what kind of material should be used to fill those potholes, then it's called like pavement management engineering. Okay, so that is also a part. So pavement deteriorates, right? So due to various factors, sir has mentioned environmental factors, also due to loading. There are numerous factors because of which pavement deteriorates, right? So this is year 0 when the road is just constructed. And what do you think when this level should be there? In which year? Ideally, if the pavement is constructed like without any fault, if everything is followed properly, if everything is predicted properly and taken into consideration during the design, it should not come 15 in the year 15 also. That means the design period should be able to provide the road surface, a distress-free road surface. But this is not the case. The end of distresses start appearing after 1 year also. So this is a typical deterioration curve which comes like this. So this is, if I say the score, generally it's called PCI, pavement condition index, just to like tell the health of the pavement. How, so here 0, 100. So if the pavement health is very good, say 100 out of 100 initially, then it will start deteriorating and it will be like that. So generally I correlate this thing with one more type of curve because the concept is very similar, and this is called the forgetting curve. So you people study for exams, okay, for class test you study, then for end semester if you don't revise those things you will forget, right? So whatever you are studying now, whatever you are seeing now, you will immediately, like after 1 day, you will remember only 50% of the after 1 hour only, you will remember only 50% of the things what you are seeing now, right? And if you don't see this thing again, this will continue. You will like this memory will fade up with time, right? So can anybody tell me how to like stop this, how to improve this forgetting curve? What do you do generally?
So revision.
Revision. Very good. So this is when you revise. When you first revise it for the first time, again it will go back to 100%. And if you notice, this slope of the curve is getting better. And at one point of time, when you revise things, it will be like this. A curve like this means what? A curve like this kind of slope will mean what?
So the retention period gets longer.
Yeah, it becomes almost permanent. So you still remember what you learned during your class 10 or class 9. But do you remember what you learned during your engineering mechanics course? 1 second. आराम पर मेरा क्लास जस्ट खत्म होने वाला है क्लास, मैं तुमको पंद्रह मिनट का हाँ हाँ ठीक okay so in order to yeah so why don't you remember the things that you learned during your first year of engineering, say engineering mechanics, engineering graphics? Why don't you remember? But you remember exactly how to draw a 30-degree angle. If you try a little bit, you will be able to remember. Because during matriculation, you revised it again and again. Everything you revised a lot. You used to be a sincere student at that time, right? Some are sincere right now also, but used to be sincere at the time more than now. So that's why you remember the things. Similarly, in case of pavement also, if we don't like do any kind of maintenance, the health of the pavement will keep on deteriorating like this. But if we do maintenance, it will again survive more. Again, if we maintain, it will survive more. So if we don't do anything and simply wait till here, then you see you have to spend more money, and even if after spending more money, you will not be able to reach the original state. You will reach only this much good only. You will not go to excellent because the road has deteriorated a lot, and you have to spend more money. But if you spend little money here, again little money here, that's why frequent maintenance is the key to a long surviving road. So we will learn these things in details when we go to pavement management part. Okay, so this is pavement maintenance, how this is done. So pavement management has shown a very good growth, especially in India. So this is from RAMS project. I was a part of this RAMS project, road asset management in Assam. So here we used this kind of vehicles to capture images of roads. Then those images were quantified, the size of the potholes we measured. So if you people are interested, we can discuss these things, because in PWD this RAMS is now a like vital component, and many people, many future engineers are going to work in RAMS, road asset management system. That is the future of road engineering. So in this particular course, what we will learn is the second last slide. So we'll introduce visually to pavement engineering. What is pavement engineering? What are the different types of roads? Then we learn to analyze and design flexible pavement as per our latest code 2018. Okay. You see, I always argue with my senior faculty that in BTech program, you have two structural analysis subjects, two structural design subjects, and even you can take more electives, advanced structural analysis, advanced structural design. So it can be as high as 6 subjects only for building design and analysis. But when it comes to designing roads and analysis of the roads, there is only a small module. Okay, a small module is there, and that module also, like this analysis part, is not taught. Only the design thing is there. So some mistake is on our part as well, who like design this syllabus and all. So we'll analyze and design this flexible pavement as well as concrete pavement, and some hands-on demonstration. I will share the software link with you. You can download, and we'll do it together, how to analyze and design using CANPAVE. Okay, so pavement materials generally like your bitumen. Bitumen is very complex. It's a viscoelastic material. So we'll learn some basics of viscoelasticity as well, so that you can use this concept while designing roads. Then also how to design the bituminous mix using Marcel method. Although you might have learned these things during your 5th semester, but we can anyway revise to make the forgetting curve flatter and flatter, right? So again, we can learn how to design concrete mix, especially for concrete pavement. Designing concrete mix for building you have already learned, but how to design concrete mix for concrete pavement for different layers, that also we can learn. Then pavement construction methods, how these layers are laid, what type of equipment are used, how these rollers, different types of rollers, different types of backhoes, power shovels, this equipment are used to construct roads, how to evaluate. As I said, the health of the pavements we can evaluate, the score we can give. So this thing we'll learn with our latest course 2018 for both flexible and concrete. Then I will introduce you to pavement management systems. Okay. So these are the two mandatory things that I expect you to come with. One is a class book. I am not a brand ambassador of Classmate or Casio, this engineering series, but if you have a mathematical series calculator, I highly recommend you replace with an engineering series calculator, because there are many advantages. We can discuss that as well. And you have to turn your video on throughout the lectures. Just kidding. You can simply sit like this, relax. But when I ask something, you just show that little courtesy to answer back, so that it becomes a very interactive session. So keep your audio muted throughout, video also off. And I will like to finish today's class with this very famous quote from President Kennedy of United States, who says that America has good roads not because America is rich. America is rich because it has good roads. It has a very deep meaning. So throughout this course, we will understand the meaning of this sentence more and more. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think Hazarika
Thank
sir
you,
is
sir.
muted.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. But please let me know when the next class can be held. Monipuspak sir, you are on mute.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
Sir, actually, what will be the outline of your course? How will you conduct the next session, and what will be the?
That is like I give this liberty to your side to decide. I
Okay, sir.
prefer any timing after like office time, say
Okay,
6
sir.
o'clock, anytime.
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, but to be frank, sir, sir, actually, our puja break is starting from tomorrow, sir. So actually, many of our students are.
That I know, sir. So we will meet after puja only. That's not
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, then I will form a WhatsApp group and I will add you, sir, and you can
Sure.
communicate with us. Yeah, and I will also form a Google Classroom, and sir, I will include you as a teacher, and you can send the PDF and all the study material there, sir.
Okay.
For the
That will be
convenience
very
of our
nice.
students.
Yes. Thank
Yes, sir, and you can communicate with us with any method, sir.
you. Thank you. Okay. I think. Wait. One more slide was there. Yeah. This
Yes,
is
sir.
my
Okay.
number.
Okay, sir.
So students also can take a screenshot. If you have any queries, you can call, WhatsApp, anytime of the day. I don't mind. Okay. Thank you. It was nice interacting with all of you.
So then we'll meet after puja, right, sir?
Right, sir. We'll meet after.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Happy Durga Puja, sir.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, students.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, all of
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.